This morning, I'm starting out in the eggplant, getting around 8 to 10 baskets. The guys were working in pimento. They were getting a couple baskets of all red, and now they finished up, so they came to help me. Finished eggplant and now moved into the red bell. You might see me throwing quite a few out, but we can't put in what's bad. And I'll show you here in a minute what we're throwing out. Something like this. Appears to be absolutely beautiful, but you look here and it's gonna be rotten. It's already rotting, but within a day, it'll be no good no more. It's better to get these bad ones off the plant. That way, then it can put all its nutrients into the new good growth that's coming on. So here is all of what we've picked, and we're gonna now start washing. These I just cannot get over. Enormous. Right now I just started to put through the red pimento. I'm actually almost done. There was 4 baskets of these for an order. We got the washing completed. The guys left to go home, and now I just got the chop in buckets. Now I'm gonna feed the cows. Here comes the line of them. They know when it's feeding time. It's now the next day, and Dad and I are starting out this morning, getting a load packed for the Scranton Farmers Market. You'll basically just see us going in and out of the cooler, grabbing pallets, loading them up with crates, boxes, whatever that may be, with all sorts of different fruits and vegetables. The truck is just about loaded. All of these baskets need to go on yet. These are just to sell as canners or on the table. And all of the long hots, the red and green, are ordered. Here on the truck, it's filling up. We have room for 2 skids yet after we get this one into place, which will be for our corn. And then we're just gonna stack those baskets and large pumpkins around anywhere we can fit them. Cabbage bin was full, but we had to take out for mom for orders. And the same goes for the cantaloupe. Usually we always fill our bins up. Like, they're never below level unless we're either stacking them or we have to take out, and well, we had to take out. These other skids are just assorted potatoes, peppers, onions, all that kind of stuff. And then the back is just another like half full bin of a bunch of different stuff, which is what my dad brought back from Wilkes-Barre Farmers Market yesterday. It's like a couple of watermelon, a basket of sweet corn, some cabbage. One thing I did want to mention is that we do have the Broyan t-shirts on our website, bryansfarm.com. On the front is the little logo. Same coloring on every single shirt, just we have all sorts of different colors of shirts. We have red, blue, green, black, gray. And then on the back is the bigger logo with the tractor in it. We have t-shirts, hoodies, crew necks, and even hats. So go check it out. I can tell you one thing, it does look like we have a lot of tomatoes, but we are selling them extremely fast. I think all these 3 are going yet. Those are gonna go to the farm market, and like I said, those are going on the truck. So if you do live near here and you are buying canning tomatoes from our farm market, get them right now because they're not gonna last much longer. Like, I'm saying a week at most. They're already starting to get a little bit harder picking, and I would say by next weekend, it's gonna be very minimal. So Dad just left the farm. He's heading out to the farm market before heading off to Scranton. We realized that when loading, we didn't have enough large pumpkins on the truck, and so he's gonna make a stop there and hopefully throw on another 15 to 20 if we can fit them, but it's already very full. And so while he was at the house getting ready to go, I got his truck and loaded it up for the farm market. You can see I got a bunch of sweet corn, tomatoes, cabbage, cantaloupe, and watermelon, and 1 bucket of sunflowers. But the sunflowers are also to go with him to Scranton Farmers Market. The guys are out in front of the blue shed. I don't know if you can see them, picking pickles. That'll be one of the last pickings for that patch just because they're getting pretty old. All the pickles are getting like kind of twisted up and just not real nice. But luckily, starting probably Monday, because today is Friday, we'll be picking our new patch since we just got that irrigated, which is a pretty big deal because it's been very dry. No, we got it. So there goes Dad, just leaving. Yesterday, we got our delivery of mums, a little over 300. A bunch, I think, of what they call 9-inch, which is all these over here. I'm not gonna walk in there just because my mom's got the sprinkler going. That way we don't have to hand water each one. But there's like a maroon, there's purple, there's yellow. There's like a maroon with yellow center. Here's white. Over here is asters, which all these are a little bit young yet, which is good because it's still early. They've got a ton of blossoms coming out. Then you have the 11-inch mums, which are a tricolor. You've got maroon, yellow, maybe orangish, I don't really know. And then over here is celosia, which is a really cool one. It's got these nice spikes on there. In a purple pot. And then over here is another really awesome one. These are 23 bucks for a 13-inch. It's got one colored mum with the grass in the middle, so you can get yellow. There's maroon, there's like orangish. I think there might be white. I don't really know for certain. And so yeah,
Now we are almost completely set up for the fall season. The only thing I know we're missing for sure is corn stalks, which I'm gonna try and get those today if at all possible. We've got the mums on the right. On the porch, we have large pumpkins. Back here, we just started getting some of the small decoratives, ornamentals. Here's casperitas. I can never remember the name of these guys. Here's orangitas, spaghetti squash, butternut. Here we have acorn, pumpkimons, orange Hubbard, blue Hubbard, more big pumpkins. Over here is the stackers, red, pink, white, and blue. And then we have a bin of white pumpkins and a bin of sugar pumpkins. And then probably somewhere right in this area will be the corn stalks. And can definitely not forget the zinnias. These are still going strong even through the drought and everything. I can't believe it. We've had a ton of people come out and cut this year, more than ever, but you would need thousands of customers to cut all these zinnias. They're still extremely beautiful, like almost picture perfect. Some are obviously dying off, but there's also new ones coming. This one didn't even come out yet, it's still in bud. Here's a really nice yellow one. The only problem we did have was in the center when we had a bad storm. It knocked them down, but they're still growing. Just not quite as full as they once were. And then here's our sign. Pick your own 10 for $5. I never got to see these celosia fully grown, and I never thought I really liked them until I actually see them now. And I just think they're the most beautiful things ever. They really look good with the sign. They're like perfect height. They're not covering the letters, but they're just up to the top. Some petunias mixed in. Our cousin plants this for us every year and does a really good job. Sammy and I went through here and we did it once. We should really do it one more time. The gazinias have a lot of blossoms on, but they're not as big as I thought they should have gotten, but maybe again, that's because of the lack of rain. Guess I should fix these letters here. Oops. And so yeah, this is our farm market, right off Route 93 in Escapec. Zinnias on the right, and the parking lot on the right is the mums. And then you've got our front porch with all the fall decor. Next on the list is digging potatoes. We have enough red, but we do definitely need white. And so I just got down here, got the digger hooked up, and just looking here at the soil, it is bone dry. Like, you can dig down there 3-4 inches and you're just starting to see a little bit of moisture. That is just dead dry. It's definitely not going to help the potatoes then while I'm digging, but I need the potatoes. I can't just not do it. And so we'll see how it goes. Hopefully they don't get skinned up too bad. If you're new to the channel and haven't seen me do this yet, this is the digger. That blade will go down into the ground, or shoe, whatever you want to call it, underneath the potatoes, bring them up onto the chain. The chain will spin backwards, drop the dirt down through, and put the potatoes on top. Usually it goes very well. The only problems I ever have is if I get a big weed like this one. I think this is called ragweed. It'll get caught up and then I have to stop, pull it out, and then continue on again. But usually it hasn't been too bad. It won't be too long here. We'll be coming through and killing the tops. That way the potatoes stop growing and it makes it a lot easier to dig. This whole field from the woods back there all the way up there to where the cole crops start is all potatoes. It's red up top to that drive road, maybe another row or two below that, and then the rest is white. We saw a lot more white potatoes than red potatoes. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Luckily, it got that whole mess through it, but not the rest. And you can see how this potato was caught up in it, how it took that skin right off. But usually they should look just like this, unharmed in any way. Sammy came down just as I was finishing up. It's a shame because I could have used her help, but got the potato parked. Definitely by far, not even close, this was the worst time digging yet. And I think it was just a combination of, it was rockier soil, it was very dry, and I was competing with these huge ragweeds that kept getting caught up. But as far as the potatoes go, they look really nice. Still looks like the same yield, meaning like the same amount of potatoes are here. The size looks good, and they aren't too skinned up, which is a plus because that's the biggest thing I was concerned about. You can see right there, I had to stop and go and pull some rocks out, but besides that, nothing really was harmed in any way, shape, or form, which is always a good thing. Sammy's over there doing exercises, I guess. And for those of you wondering, because I get this question all the time, Sammy is my girlfriend. The late season cole crops are looking really good, especially now that we got them irrigated. You can see how wet the soil is here. We did this around 2 days ago, and it still looks wet, which means that we really got it soaked well. And we were thinking about irrigating it again tonight, but I really don't think it's necessary, just with how wet it looks and how great the plants look. I'm sure probably on the edges it's not quite as good, just because we have 2 lines running through here and they were overlapping, so they're getting double the water that side was and that side was, but still, I don't think it's gonna be too big of an issue. So I'm gonna take the tractor up, park that in the shed, and then I think Sammy and I are gonna head up to the second patch of pickles, zucchini, and cucumbers. I know the cucumbers and pickles aren't ready, but I did see zucchini there a couple days ago that were borderline, so now I know they're gonna be ready. All right, so we just got up here. Like I said, the pickles are still small. There's just little tiny baby ones on there. But the Lebanese, from what I can see just from the truck, are nice. There's one. Not those. Right here's another nice one. Actually 2, maybe even 3. A lot of the first ones are always a little bit funky, but we're obviously not gonna let that stop us from picking them. Trying to be really careful so that we don't cut the leaves on them. Like, that's a little bit misshaped, but that's just how the first ones always look. And dog everything on it. Either was that one. That's like perfect size right there. So we just finished the Lebanese. We got about half a box. We now are into the yellow zucchini, and I don't think there's any. Like, that is way too small. Even that is pretty small. Our customers like them pretty large. So we'll just skip right through this. And then the green should be starting here any minute. Yep, here's green. That's what I'm looking for right there. Beautiful. So just like the Lebanese, some of these first zucchini are obviously a little bit odd shaped. It's got good width, I guess you would say, but the length is not real good on that one. This is like the ideal zucchini. That's actually even a little bit small, what I like to see. But by the time we'd come back next time, that thing would be Goliath. That's what you don't want to do.
That's a little guy.
Well, here's a nice one. A little bit.
I'm running out of room. My tower of zucchini.
Think that's too small?
The top, yeah.
You'll go like 6 or 7 plants, maybe even 10, nothing, and then all of a sudden you'll see a big one. You picking that one out of there, son?
Sure.